What would you say if you learned that police are using social networking sites like Facebook
to help solve crimes and catch criminals?
Police Department's Facebook page.
Facebook page.
Police
Facebook.
Police
Facebook.
Busted by Facebook.
Facebook. Cops, criminal activity.
Relationship status. Interested in. This is what drives life in college. Are you having sex or aren't you? It's why people take certain classes and sit where they sit and do what they do when at some center, you know? That's what the Facebook is going to be about.
At its inception, Facebook was created with the sole intent of being a social networking website. Our documentary will explore how Facebook has shifted from a small-scale social networking website to a surveillance tool used by law enforcement for solving criminal investigations. With this shift in usage also comes an increased ability for police to access our most private information on Facebook without our consent. Facebook began in early 2004 and was designed as a social networking website exclusively to Harvard University students. Since September 2005, Nicole Ellison, associate professor at Michigan State University, says Facebook has demographically and culturally expanded its membership to include everyone.
Kingwen Dong, professor at the University of the Pacific, proposes that individuals utilize Facebook's inherent social networking function as an efficient tool to maintain their relationships. The ease with which relationships are maintained is what triggered the rapid increase in Facebook's members. In less than 8 years, Facebook has accumulated upward of 800 million users.
This rise in users has allowed individuals to share personal information at an alarming rate. People used to be hesitant about using their real names online, but as Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder and chief executive officer of Facebook notes, in the last 5 or 6 years, people have gotten really comfortable with not only sharing more information and different kinds, but also more openly and with more people. He says that this social norm is just something that has evolved over time.
Daniel Trottier, professor at the University of Alberta, also says Facebook's users rapidly grew accustomed to sharing content with friends to the point that it became yet another mundane service that is embedded in social life.
Part of the reason why people are willingly sharing vast amounts of personal information on Facebook is the high level of trust they have in both Facebook and its members, a finding that Catherine Dwyer, professor at Pace University, concluded from an online survey.
Facebook is now well understood by people of all ages and professions and is the second most visited website in the world after Google. This, combined with users' openness on Facebook, makes it an ideal forum to assist in investigating crime, says Jeanette Lovejoy, professor at the University of Portland. Therefore, the usage of Facebook by law enforcement is a natural consequence of its exploding popularity, states Hodge, professor of Southern Illinois University.
Most social networks, including Facebook, have good search functionalities. People use such search features to find their friends or things they might be interested in. However, says Amy Muse, professor at the University of Guelph, this means others can also find them and their information as well. As a direct result, police are now utilizing Facebook as a surveillance tool.
David Lyon, professor of sociology at Queen's University, defines surveillance as the focused and systematic collection of personal information.
When you were underage, did you ever post pictures like these?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can't believe what happened last night. I'm barely sober. I think I need to come back down. The party's over.
Well, cops are now taking advantage of Facebook as a surveillance tool to find pictures like these and find underage drinkers.
There are various other ways that police utilize Facebook for criminal investigations. They use it every day as a research tool to get tips for solving crimes. It is a more cost-effective method than poster campaigns and mass leaflet distribution.
The Toronto Police Service even have 2 Facebook pages, one for Toronto Crime Stoppers and one for the Toronto Police. Police are now receiving special social media training on how to use Facebook. A single cop sitting in his office, by regular use of his Facebook account, can now reach out to thousands of people, encouraging them to leave anonymous tips.
Director of Criminal Science at Indiana Tech, Dr. Stephen Hundersmark, said social networking is in fact changing the face of law enforcement, and investigators have to be electronically savvy now.
For example, in 2006, police used evidence from Facebook to charge a student. 2 students from the University of Illinois were spotted urinating out front of a bar. One escaped, the other was detained. When questioned by the police, he denied knowing his accomplice. However, the officer accessed his Facebook profile, and when he realized the 2 were friends on Facebook, he charged the latter with obstruction of justice.
The creation of fake Facebook accounts by police has also erupted in the last few years. In one such case, a U.S. cop created an account posing as an attractive female in order for male university students to befriend her on Facebook. What the students didn't know was that this cop used the account to obtain pictures of them drinking underage. These photos were enough evidence to fine the students.
The Vancouver Stanley Cup riot is an example of the local police department and the community working together using Facebook to identify and charge rioters. Soon after the Vancouver Canucks lost Game 7 to the Boston Bruins in 2011, rioting broke out. Almost immediately, people were sharing pictures and videos with the police through Facebook feeds. The Vancouver Police Department encouraged people to tag or identify rioters that they knew in order to assist the police in their investigation.
Shane Whitnov, litigation associate from a firm in San Francisco, says police who show they need personal information for an investigation or during an emergency may not be required under PIPEDA, Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, to obtain consent to collect it. In other words, there are in fact circumstances in which police can gain access to some of our most private information on Facebook without a warrant.
Under Facebook's data use policy, it states that we may share your information in response to a legal request like a search warrant, court order, or subpoena if we have a good faith belief that the law requires us to do so. This means that when a legal matter arises with the user of Facebook, the extent to which the law enforcement is granted access to personal information is purposely ambiguous, so that Facebook officials cannot be held accountable for disclosing personal information.
Valerie Steeves, criminology professor at the University of Ottawa, says that new technologies such as Facebook are eroding the boundary between the public and the private. Julian Assange, editor-in-chief of WikiLeaks, even goes as far as to call Facebook the most appalling spying machine that has ever been invented.
Steeves also notes that surveillance is emerging as an organizing principle, and modern methods of electronic surveillance have the potential, if uncontrolled, to create an Orwellian web of total surveillance.
The Conservative government is trying to pass Bill C-30, also known as lawful access legislation, which would give the police more power to better monitor the web surfing habits of Canadians. Critics of this legislation, like Michael Geist, law professor at the University of Ottawa, say they are worried about all the information police will have access to without a warrant. Thus, if passed, this bill has the potential to create an Orwellian society within Canada.
As you can see, there has been a clear shift in the use of Facebook from a small-scale social networking website to a large-scale surveillance system used by police for investigating crimes.
Getting information about persons of interest is often cheapest, fastest, and easiest through use of Facebook.
Because Facebook contains vast amounts of personal information, and police can obtain this information without a warrant, Facebook has proven to be invaluable. With the trend moving towards nearly everyone having a Facebook profile, informal research on Facebook has become one of the first research steps in any legal conflict.